All right, everyone, welcome to the channel. We definitely appreciate you guys watching. Today we got the Daily Shooter. You know, me and the Daily Shooter go way back to the beginning. So today we got the Daily Shooter here. We're gonna be talking about gun laws, and you know, I live in North Carolina, so for me, is pretty easy. But for him, it's not. So it's one of those things that every time I see one of his videos, I get really mad about it. But not at him, but just the stuff that he has to deal with. So we're gonna discuss some of those things. We're gonna talk about it. Hopefully, it's good information for you guys. Hopefully, you guys like it. As always, if you like this type of videos, click like, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to his channel. I'm gonna put a link down below, as well as his second channel. He has 2 channels now. So with that being said, let's do a quick intro, bro.
What's going on, guys? The Daily Shooter, gun knife gear reviews, and every once in a while I do California stuff, constitutional videos, and things like that. You know, lately kind of been focusing on a lot of the California laws that have been coming around for 2015. And that's kind of been my my focus, but hopefully I'll be getting back to the regular stuff once that settles down.
All right, cool. So you got your first channel. What's the second channel's name?
Second channel is going to be called 10 Round Mags. It's a California channel. It's basically about California laws, stuff like that. And I got the concept from this, as you can see, 10 Round Mag.
That's just, man, that's crazy, man. All right, so
it's funny, right?
you know, it's kind of crazy because I went to pretty much to go and buy an M&P9, and when I got there, it was maybe like 2 months ago. I got there to the place. It was actually the one that's only 10 round compliance or whatever it is. So of course I didn't get that because, I mean, if I would have got it for a good deal, I could replace the magazine. But I think the guy wanted like $380 or something. You could find a better deal than that. But with that said, just give us a little bit of background, some of the things that you do, some of the things that you can do that pretty much everybody else can do. You know what I'm saying?
Well, one, you just can't walk in and buy a gun, and here's the problem. We have a 10-day waiting period. So you find something you like, you got to pay the money for it, and then you have to wait 10 days before you can go pick it up, right? Then,
yeah,
once you go to pick it up, if you're purchasing, let's say, like a pistol or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to take a safety test, written, and you have to show the guy that you can use the pistol safely. But now, in 2015, that applies to long guns too, which means even if you go to buy a rifle, because I haven't bought a rifle this year yet, so I'm not sure how it works, but you have to show that you can safely use the rifle.
Okay.
I don't know.
So
it's stupid. I mean, what if you buy a bolt-action rifle? What are you supposed to do? Okay, there, I'm done.
Yeah.
Pull the trigger.
So pretty much you go and buy a gun, and I guess this is when the North Carolina is pretty simple. Here, you have 2 ways. Either you get a permit from the sheriff's department, and I'm talking about handguns, or you get a concealed permit. Now, I know a lot of Marines have issues because Marines got to have extra paperwork. When I was in the Marine Corps, I had issues with that. But as far as I know, and I was reading something the other day, actually yesterday, I was reading something because we have a new sheriff in town, and he replaced this guy that was the sheriff for like 30 years. Unbelievable. The guy was in charge of the county for 30-something years. And this guy's making it pretty easy. And one guy was talking on Facebook how it's actually online. So he actually put his permit, and 23 minutes later he was approved. So with that permit, yeah, which was I mean, that's a major step up in technology. Now we're having this line system and all that. But with that permit, I believe you could buy up to 5 pistols. But you know what I'm saying? You go there, you say, I want that pistol, you show the permit, and you get it. That's it. Right. And you walked out. Now, if you have a concealed permit, it's pretty much, you know, you go through the whole process of concealed permit, and you just go there and you buy as many guns as you want. I mean, like 5 minutes. Like you walk there, you say I want that gun. The guy writes the paperwork. Of course, you have to do that form, that's like a booklet kind of thing.
Yeah.
And,
Your drills.
and then you walked out with the gun. Now let me just take it back. What I say about the permit, that's what I read from the guy from Facebook. The whole 23 minutes. I mean, I don't know how accurate is that, but I always
Right.
know that it was about 1 to 2 days to get your permit.
Right.
With this new system, apparently it's extremely fast. But in 10 days, man, come on, dude. A safety
10 days.
test. Like, come
And you
on,
gotta pay
man.
for all that. You have to pay for the safety test. You have to pay. I think it's like $25. And once you pay and you pass it and everything, and you can finally take home your pistol, you can only buy one a month. Let's say like there's a couple M&P shields that I want, one for me, one for my wife, or something like that, right? I can't. She has to come and do her separate drills, separate paperwork, everything separate. It's really stupid, dude.
Yeah, and you know, I'm kind of smiling in a way, but this thing like pisses me
California's
off, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's horrible.
Like this is
Dude,
horrible.
I get guys that write me, they write emails and stuff saying, hey, I'm a Marine, or I'm in the Army, whatever, I'm in the Air Force, and I'm moving to California. What do I have to do with my guns, you know?
Mhm.
And I got to tell them, like, you probably should leave it behind. You know, that's the only thing you can do. Either leave it behind, or you have to register them with the state of California when you come here.
Yeah.
It's a horrible gun place, dude.
Which is true, because now being in the other side, and you know, being in a Marine town, in Facebook have this this page where people, you could pretty much sell guns and buy guns from people. They kind of like post it there, kind of like classifies. And I see that all the time. You know, I'm PCSing, or I'm moving to California. I got this rifles for sale, because they just cannot bring in, or they don't want to go through the whole pain of doing that. That's just unbelievable, man. You know, like it's just unbelievable.
Starting in January of 2014, so January of last year, everything you buy through your FFL has to be registered. Every gun that you purchase, even gun show, wherever, it doesn't matter, has to be registered. So even if you're buying a shotgun, a hunting rifle, a Remington 700, it has to be registered now. So, I mean, it's horrible, and that's why I'm really going that polymer 80 route, is because it's the only way right now that you can get around that.
So,
you know, so that's why I tell people, no, it still has to be registered through an FFL. They have to do the DROS and register it.
Oh, wow.
You have to give your social and your drivers and that whole deal. They'll hold it in escrow for 10 days.
Well, so if I'm selling a gun to you, they actually have to hold the gun for 10 days?
Yeah, the gun shop does.
Wow.
I mean, I haven't done it. That's what I've heard, you know, everybody talking at the gun shop, how stupid that is. I haven't actually done a private sale, but that's how I understand that works.
Yeah.
You know, well, everything's got to be registered and stuff. Stupid.
Yeah, I did that trade. I traded a shotgun and a rifle for the MMP 45, and the guy actually wanted it. The guy actually wanted to do an FFL transfer, and I said, yeah, sure, man. If you're gonna pay for it, I don't care. You know, I got my concealed permit. I don't care. But in the state of North Carolina, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do, you know, a private sale is a private sale. Now, if you're selling a handgun to a person, you have to ensure that that person has a permit of a concealed permit, concealed permit. But if you're selling a shotgun or a rifle, no, it's just, you know, here's my rifle, give me my money. Maybe you want to do a bill of sale. You know, if you, like me, I would check your license, you know, check things like that. I would know somebody. Like, I sold a rifle to a Marine. I sold his license, his military ID. So in a way, I'm not selling a rifle to an illegal guy or something. You know what I'm saying? But when we went inside the FFL, because the guy wanted to do an FFL for the MMP 45, the dealer told him, the shop was like, hey man, we don't do FFL. You don't have to do that. It's perfectly legal in North Carolina for you to do a trade with that guy, and we did that. It was pretty simple, We kind of meet up in a parking lot, and here's the rifle, here's the shotgun. Give me a pistol. Here's my license. He looked at it. We did a bill of sale just for because he wanted to do one, and peace, gone. And it's just crazy that you can do that, and it pisses me off because this is the United States, man. This you know what I'm saying? This is a free country.
Yeah, but you're treated like a criminal here, especially. I mean, when you go into a gun shop, for instance, when you go into a gun shop here, all of the windows are always super tinted. There's silver on the windows, so you can't see inside. And then when you go there, people are they're quieter, Like I've been to other places in Idaho and Utah and Nevada, Arizona. I've been to gun shops all over the place, and they're so different. Like, for instance, when you go to, let's say, somewhere in Nevada, right? You can actually reach in, grab a rifle and check it out and stuff like that. Here, everything has to be locked and behind the counter, So you got to wait for a guy. It's crazy when you go to another state and you'll see a guy walking down the street with a pistol on his hip and realize that if I did the same thing when I go home, I'm a felon. Not just going to jail, I'm going to be a felon.
Wow.
It doesn't make sense to me that I'm an American just like you.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up an American citizen. I go to bed an American citizen. And yet I don't have the same rights that you do. Bothers me. It really pisses me off. And then some people here on YouTube will even talk crap to me because I'm from California, so I must not know what I'm talking about, right? And so it's sort of like you're getting hit from both ends. You kind of get hit from the gun community, and you get hit from the politicians and the left. It's like it just sucks being here. It's horrible.
Yeah. One thing that I want to point out, even though you have all the strict laws, what are they have accomplished? Nothing, because you guys just had well, I guess the guy, I don't know if it was an active shooter or because he used a knife, he used a pistol, and he used a card to kill people. So
just call it mass killing.
Yeah, mass kill. There we go. You guys just had a mass killing a few months ago. And they just don't accomplish anything, and I don't get how these people don't understand that the only way to stop a bad guy is to have a good guy with a gun. Like, when are they gonna get it? How many people got to die for them to understand that? I don't understand that.
Look at the two women, Dianne Feinstein and Barbara Boxer, and these same women that get voted and elected in every time. And then the California voters re-elect Jerry Brown, who already went through 2 terms back in the 70s and was anti-gun back then. They re-elect him. The legislature is completely anti-gun. I mean, the hypocrisy is amazing. Think about, we had a guy, Leland Yee. He was a California state senator, Leland Yee. He pushed the bills for, like, the bullet button, right? And he's part of the reason why we have the bullet button. He was in on the assault weapons ban. Big anti-gun guy. He stood up against, the whole ghost gun thing.
Right.
So he was in on the whole, we need to get rid of ghost guns. He's the guy that was just indicted on weapons trafficking.
Yeah.
He was the dude that was up there in California making anti-gun stuff, taking guns out of my hands, but then that's the type of politician we have here.
Yeah. Well, I just think that by doing that, they just violate all your rights. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who am I to tell you what to buy and what not to buy? You know what I'm saying? If you are a good American citizen, good law-abiding citizen, and you're working hard and you want to spend your money on 3 guns, that is your business. There's not my business to tell you not to do that. And the moment that I tell you cannot do that, then we're going into the whole violating people's right. Like, who am I to tell you, hey, you can't buy a gun? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But you have to remember, people in California are desensitized to guns. Okay, people have not seen open carriers here in California for so long that they're not used to seeing guns on anybody other than police. So,
Right.
for instance, I've done this test probably 2 or 3 times. This morning I did it actually, where I didn't want to take my holster off to go to get donuts. So I left my holster on, which is kind of a big, it's that Serpa holster, you know, it's a thick
Yep.
holster. I left my holster on, and I went to the donut shop. No gun in it or nothing. You should have seen the looks I got from people at the holster, just the holster. And they
Yeah.
were, you know, people were talking. You heard everything. I came back. I told my wife. I said, people at the donut shop literally got quiet and started talking because I had a holster on.
I
Not a
would do
gun,
it more
just a
often, dude.
holster.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've done it a
That's
few
ridiculous.
times, dude. At Walmart, I wore my holster. People freak out. They panic.
Yeah. And you know, it's just like you talking about different states. Here I see somebody open carry daily, dude, like daily. Like I may be in Walmart and see two, three guys open carry, and no one even noticed. Like it's like the next stream, like no one even noticed that the guy is up and carry. Now I notice a lot of times because I carry a gun, but my wife sometimes she won't even notice that a guy is open carry because she's not paying attention to that. And you go to the gun store and you be there in the corner, you know, asking for a gun or whatever. Maybe two, three guys next to you, and one or two of those guys are open carry. You know, they bring the awesome looking 1911s. It's kind of like taking the 1911 for a day or something. I don't know, but I don't know
Yeah.
one yet.
Hey,
But they do it all the time,
I have
man.
a question. I have a question. In North Carolina, when you open carry, do you open carry loaded?
Oh yeah. Yeah, as far
See,
as
okay,
I don't barely open carry, so I don't know
yeah.
exactly all that, but as far as I know, yes.
In California, when we could open carry a few years ago, you could open carry, but you couldn't have a loaded magazine in the magwell. So you would have to open carry an unloaded pistol on your hip, and then on the other side of your hip have a loaded magazine, so that if something happened, you'd have to drop your mag, load a fresh mag, rack it, and then you could go.
Wow.
That was California's open carry. When we did have open carry, that's the only way you could do it.
Yeah. I just, man, like one something that I just amazes me, and I continue, you know, like one thing, if I understand that they may want to do something safe, or they want to. They let me see how I put this because people always like misunderstand what we're trying to say. But I understand if they want to put some kind of law regulation, got it, because you feel that people are gonna be safe. Okay, whatever. You know, I don't agree with it, but I get it. But the fact that they're doing 10 days and some of the laws that they put over there are like
Yeah.
completely unbelievable. You know, like that is not a reasonable person won't think that it's a reasonable regulation. You know what I'm saying? Like 10 days,
Yeah.
it's just not
Well,
reasonable.
the 10 days actually got deemed unconstitutional. I think it was about 3 months ago. So
Right.
what they're doing right now is, I believe in March, they're doing away with the 10-day waiting period if you've already purchased a firearm in California. So basically, the government already knows you own one. So you've purchased a firearm here. It's registered in your name here. You have your handgun safety certificate and all that stuff. Uh, Once you've gone through it basically the first time, now you can skip the 10-day waiting period, and it's just however long it takes for them to run your paperwork. So once your background check comes in, so me being somebody who's purchased something that's registered already, I can walk in, say I want that, and then walk out. But it's an appeal, so from what I understand, I mean it's still going to be a little bit of a fight. But if the appeal doesn't work out, in a few months we might be able to, walk in and walk out.
So now
So I
every
mean,
time you buy a gun, you have to have a background check and all that stuff.
background check, registered, it's cost a lot of money. You know,
Yeah. So
it makes me not want to
so do you have to pay for the background check and all that stuff?
buy. Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It costs what I think is $35 for that. I think all in all told, you walk out about $60.
so if you go and buy a handgun, and okay, this is the one that I want. You have to wait 10 days. You have to do paperwork. You have to do a background check, and all that stuff that you're doing, you have to pay. It's going to cost you at least $60 more.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
sorry, man. I gotta understand because we don't do none of those things. I mean, they
No.
do a background check, but you don't pay money. Like I remember buying a shotgun without a permit, because when you buy handguns you have to have a permit. But long rifles and shotguns and things like that, you don't have to have a permit, which it kind of always like it blew my mind a little bit. You could go to Walmart and pick up an AR-15 because they do have it in Walmart.
Yeah.
But if you want to buy a pistol, then you have to have a concealed permit or a permit from the sheriff's department. But
Yeah.
when they call the background check and all that, you don't pay for none of those things.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of
So,
like the background check is included in our gross fees. So you
right.
kind of pay for it in your record of sale. But I suppose the extra money when it comes to the permits and stuff, you only have to do that once every 5 years.
Okay.
So typically, I think it would only cost like $35 or $40, and then in 5 years you'd have to pay the extra again. So
Right.
it's I don't know, man. You go the list. Okay, for instance, when you go to the gun shop right now, my gun shop used to stock everything. The guy had all sorts of pistols that you can buy. I mean, everything from Rugers to HK, just everything, right? Glocks, the whole deal. I went there the other day. He had one CZ, a couple M&P shields, one Glock, and that was pretty much it. Because you're not going to be able to buy guns anyway here. Pretty pissed you can't even purchase a gun.
Especially when you can only buy one a month, dude. Like what do you
Yeah.
mean one a month, man? Like what the,
I don't know.
like I don't even know where to go.
Yeah.
I don't know where to go with that. Like it's just pissing me off that an American
Yeah.
person, and I'm a guy that works hard and pay taxes, and you tell me that I can only buy one gun a month. Like, who are you to tell me that? I don't even get it. I live in a free country where I work, where I pay taxes. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Like,
But you're a
like,
criminal if you want to buy a gun. I mean, you're a criminal. That's how they treat you. If you walk into a gun shop and buy a gun, you pretty much are the bad guy now. That's how they see you out here. There's
yeah.
no way around it.
And
I mean, the whole thing about waiting periods and stuff, it's all to confuse us here. The laws are so confusing that when people come to my channel or ask me questions, so many people don't understand what is going on with the law, and that's kind of part of what they're doing. So now you have to register every firearm. You have so many laws on the books that we can't even follow. The police don't even know what the laws are, So eventually, when they come to take your guns, I think people are just literally going to go, I don't even know what the hell to do anymore, just take it. Like, I feel like that's what a lot of gun owners in California are going to do if they ever start confiscating, is they're just not going to want to deal with it, dude, and they're just going to give it up, Whole point is to eventually take our guns. I know it for a fact. They don't care about the laws. They know that a criminal's not going to wait 10 days to pick up a gun. They know some guy, that's out there with, one of these gangs in San Fernando or something. He's not going to wait 10 days to pick up a gun that's registered in his name so he can go rob a bank or something.
right.
He's got one from his buddy that they stole from the house down the street. So,
Yep.
The whole point is to eventually confiscate. That's what they're after here in California.
And that's the thing that kind of like it blows my mind apart, man. That they don't get that what they doing is that they're restricting good people. When you telling me that I could only carry 10 rounds versus 17 rounds in my Glock 17, and for a lady that may be faced on top of home invasion, and she gets scared and somebody's trying to break him inside the house, she may run through those 7 rounds like it's cool, man. 10 rounds like it's cool. So having that additional 7 rounds may save her life. You have to change your magazine during some type of home invasion. People get scared. People don't have like the advanced training to be able to have that muscle memory where they're just replacing magazine. And good law-abiding citizens are gonna get killed. because of the
Yeah,
restriction.
try doing that with a bullet button. Could you imagine being super stressed out? You got some guy who's in your house. Maybe he's got a gun. Maybe he's already shot at you once, right?
Right.
And you got to find a little stupid pinhole in the side of
No.
your rifle, right? And you got to, your hands are probably shaking. You're nervous, right? Your adrenaline's going, and you got to find that stupid pinhole to drop your mag out. And then what if you drop your bullet button or your tool that you're using on the floor?
Yeah.
Now what? You're stuck with a freaking hammer that you can't do
Screwed,
anything
man.
with.
You're
Yes,
screwed,
that's how
man.
come. That's when people say, oh, I wouldn't, use an AR-15 for home defense, or I wouldn't use this or that. In California, I don't suggest anybody uses anything other than a pistol or a shotgun for home defense, because you don't need bullet buttons for your pistol, and you don't have a bullet button for a shotgun. It just makes it easier to reload.
Right.
It's
Right.
it's bad for us. I mean, you better hope you hit them, dude. That first 10 rounds, or you're done.
And the crime up there, man. California has a pretty good rate, pretty crime rate out there, right?
Oh
Like
yeah,
you guys
especially
are not a good state.
No, I
Wow.
mean it has its good areas and its bad areas, just like everywhere else. You have your really nice, safe communities, and then you have, other communities that are maybe low income, or just,
Mhm.
have gangs that have existed for decades, and they're everywhere. So yeah, there's a lot of high crime. I made a video, dude. The videos that we started with are videos that suck.
Yeah.
Like I think it was like my video. It was horrible, right? But I listed 10 things that wouldn't have stopped a killing in California, and I listed 10 California laws that wouldn't have stopped it. And every once in a while, I'll go back and just watch that video, because the 10-day waiting period, that didn't stop the guy from killing somebody.
Right.
Bullet button, that didn't stop him from having a 30-round mag. I
Yep.
mean, stupid.
It's it's the thing is, man, is like it kind of amazes me because we have these people in charge as a leadership that are supposed to be smart people. I mean, these people are, if you look at some of those guys in governors or, in charge of this, in charge of that, these people are supposed to be well-educated people. These people are supposed to have college degree. These people are supposed to
Yeah,
be educated people. This is like a little bit higher class people. You don't pick somebody from the street that barely finished high school and put him in charge of the state. But at the same time, they display nothing. They don't display common sense, man. Like
yeah, but
they
they
don't
took an oath.
understand.
Even
Right.
an idiot
Other
with an oath.
Exactly, and they just don't do anything that when it comes to laws and gun control, they don't do anything that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
if you want to protect that kids from getting shot at or getting killed at the schools, put more police officers there. Put
Yeah.
armed security personnel.
hmm
If you think you're gonna stop somebody by creating some law that is gonna stop, criminals don't care. Criminals are gonna grab a gun, and if the gun has some kind of bullet button or whatever it is, they're gonna modify. They're gonna
Yeah.
take it to the house, like open it up and modify that gun and use it to kill people.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? My point with this is like they're supposed to be educated people and people smart and this and that, but the laws and the policies that they putting out there are straight up trash. Are not
Yeah.
doing anything. You know what I'm
See, I don't even
saying?
get it. I know we're a liberal state, and I know where I live, particularly Hollywood, dictates a lot of laws where I live. And Hollywood, as you know, is really liberal, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of a big problem. Is you get so many celebrities that are anti-gun and stand up for gun. Well, that's a local problem for me. Is when Angelina Jolie stands up and say, "Not one more." Well, guess what? The mayor of Los Angeles and the mayor of Hollywood all of a sudden put out these rules where maybe in L.A. County you can't even shoot on federal land. And that's one of the problems I have. I live in L.A. County, right? But it's
Mm-hmm.
so blue here. It's so left-leaning, anti-gun liberal that even when you go on federal public land, okay, this is public land, if you get caught shooting, by confiscate all of your weapons, ammunition, and everything else if you're not on an actual range. So for me, I have to drive the next county up and then go on public land to go shooting. That's how bad it is here. You
It
know?
probably has to do with taxes. Oh, not taxes, just getting money. They probably donate money to the police department and these people are so nice to them because they get extra money, and it's just, but it goes back to, like, doing what is right and doing what they swear to do,
Yeah.
and they're not doing it. I tell you what, man, when I went to Japan, you couldn't bring any gun, and I get that. I got orders to go to Japan. It's a different country. You have to obey by the regulations. But if you tell me that I had to PCS or whatever was the acronym, like move to California and I have to get rid of my guns, I would have an issue with that, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
And a lot of guys do.
I
They just
didn't go
don't
to
tell somebody.
combat. I didn't go to combat for your freedom, so you could say all these things that I don't agree with, and I had to respect your belief. You could talk about A, B, and C, and I had to respect your belief, and I cannot talk about it because I cannot insult you, but I cannot own guns.
Yeah.
No, man,
Yeah, it's amazing, dude.
it's just crazy,
Yeah,
man.
it's amazing.
It's just
You know,
crazy.
I mean, I live in a town that's full of military. You know, I mean, it's kind of like North Carolina,
Right.
where I live right here. I'm surrounded by I have bases over here, bases over here, and bases over here. You know, and so you run into guys all the time that are in uniform, and it runs through my mind sometimes. Like, you see this guy, and you could tell he just got off a long shift. He's tired, dude.
Yeah.
He's walking through Walmart getting like shampoo or something, and you think to yourself, like, when he got off base, he has to deal with the same BS that I do, except he
Mhm.
put in a lot more work for us to have that, and it still gets taken away from him.
Yep.
It's not fair, dude. It's not fair. I
Wow.
mean, but I can bitch about fairness, but in reality, it's the California voter that's done this. I mean, there's not many laws in California that people haven't voted on. And that's kind of where I run into the problem is, yeah, there are some laws that kind of went through the legislation and became law, but a lot of the stuff ends up on bills, and people vote for those. I don't, and a lot of low information voters, people that just, they don't care. They don't own guns anyway, so they don't care what happens to them. And that's another problem. It's the low information voter in California.
Is the thing is that these people are brainwashed, bro. This type of
Yeah,
people are brainwashed. They have this belief that if something happened, that's where the cops are. If somebody breaks into my house, the police is there. They're gonna help me
yeah,
out. If there's an earthquake or a disaster, the federal government is there. They're gonna help
yeah,
me out. And then they don't realize that every single time that something happens, they are not there.
yeah,
Like even cops tell you. I even hearing you too. You hear police officers telling you, you better have a gun because I'm gonna show up there like 10 to 15 minutes later, and by that
yeah,
time everything is over. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
we see that all the time. We saw that last year in Georgia where we had the snowstorm, and people were stuck in the highways where couldn't move, and a lot of bad things happened down there. And where
mm,
was the government at? They weren't
yeah,
there. So I guess me and you are kind of out there, man, because we are expecting that. I'm not expecting for police officers to come and sell me. If somebody knocks on my
yeah,
door right now, I got my Glock here, right
yeah,
there. I I, I mean, I'm not expecting, because I know if somebody's banging on my door right now, right at this moment, and I grab this phone and I call the police, I know it's gonna take 15 minutes for them to come here, and by that
yeah,
time I'm dead. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. You're done.
I'm done. What am I gonna do?
Getting back,
So
getting back to the whole differences between your state and my state, California is so bad, okay, that we have a law that restricts you buying from border states. Okay, for instance, let's say I live 4 hours from Las Vegas, or I can go up to Oregon, border state with Arizona, right? So
mm,
we have these states that all border California. Any state that borders California is not allowed to sell a firearm to somebody with a California license. So if I drive to Arizona, I purchase, let's just say something simple like an 870, right, a shotgun,
right.
and I see that Bass Pro and it's on sale. They won't sell it to me once I show them my ID because I'm from California and there's a border law. Like, that's how bad it is.
Wow.
It's pretty ridiculous.
Like, wow,
And what are you
dude.
gonna do? Everybody keeps saying like you need to leave, you know, you need to go somewhere else. But it's like, man, if I could pack up and go, I would have already been gone, you know? I mean, like you know personally, we've been trying for transfers and stuff to get
Yeah.
out. You know, I don't know what I would do if I hit a free state. If I saw a guy walking with a gun, I'd be like, babe, he's got a gun.
You would
Let's
probably
go
just go there and hug him.
call the cops on him.
You have like PTSD from California.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know what to
Oh,
do.
man.
I'd probably be all nervous. I'd have like a gun on my hip or something. I'd be like, "Are you sure I'm allowed to do this, right? Because I don't want to leave
Yeah,
and get shot or something."
it's crazy, man. My little brother complains all the
Yeah,
time because, he can open carry where he's at, and he always says, "Oh, North Carolina, you can open carry," which, I don't open carry, barely. I think I did it once or something, but again, I like having the choice.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I like having the choice, and if it makes sense,
Well,
it makes sense.
well, what would you do? Okay, say there is that Peruta case down in San Diego, right?
Hmm.
That states that California's no carry law is unconstitutional, stating that you have to have one or the other. You either have to have open carry or you have to have concealed carry. You have to have one or the other, so the right to bear arms isn't completely infringed, right? So that's kind of where the court case went. So Orange County is just kind of starting to roll on concealed carry, but now in LA, the talk that I hear is they might roll out open carry if the court case comes to LA.
Hmm.
If given the chance, dude, would you open carry in LA? Think about this now in the context of Los Angeles. Cops that just kind of like shoot on sight, would you open carry if you had no other choice?
Yeah, yes. I would open carry.
Think so?
I will open carry, and I will probably wear a shirt that says "Don't shoot me, cops,"
Yeah, hands up, don't shoot.
and something shoot. But yeah, I will carry a gun any ways that is legal, and I will do it. And I don't. I tell you what, man, I'm not into one of those guys that hang around with a cell phone recording every 2 seconds.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
you know those guys that walk around and call it waiting on the cops to record them. But
Yeah.
if I ever find myself in that type of situation, I will record them for my safety. I will have to for my safety.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Well, I would
saying?
record them. I would probably record them too, but I just wouldn't be a dick. Like some of those guys are dicks.
Right. 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 Right.
I mean, if the cop comes up to me and he says, "Hey, a bunch of people called, you know, and they say you're carrying a gun," and be like, "Yeah, well, it's legal to open carry here, right?" You know, I'm not gonna give the cop shit. I'm just gonna deal with it for 2 minutes and then go about my business. I know that a lot of people get mad at that idea because so why would I let the cop stop me? But you know what? I just want to go about my business, deal with what I got to deal with, and I'm not one of those guys that's gonna sit around and cause a problem for 15 minutes. It just
No.
makes
Yeah.
everybody look bad to me.
No, I agree with you, man. I take the same stand with that. I don't even think it's a police officer's fault when it comes to that. I just think it's the leadership because as a
Yeah,
dispatcher, and I work as a dispatcher in the past. If you got questions, so if you ask questions and the guy is legitimate open carry, I wouldn't even send the cops. But they probably have straight orders to send a police officer to deal with that. And at that point, it's not really the police officer's fault. Is his leadership sending him there? I mean, of course, is the guy's being a prick and being unprofessional. That's just something else. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Deal with that when that
So,
happens.
but yeah. So I guess in my position, I guess I will have to deal with it according to. I mean, if the guy is nice, I deal nice. If the guy is mean, I'd probably be a little bit mean.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that makes sense. But we'll see. I mean, if open carry comes to LA, dude, I'm probably gonna open carry.
yeah, I would for sure. Just with the proper holster. I mean, I don't know how bad it's out there, but if you have any risk of somebody coming and grabbing your gun or something like that, I will wear one of those holsters that have some type of retention. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
I
because
mean, I
there's.
like my Blackhawk.
Mhm.
Um, I'd probably just wear that. Maybe step it up another level if I had to and get a thumb break.
Yeah.
But
Or you could just get a lanyard, bro. I used to, especially with the Beretta, you have that spot to put a lanyard. I used to use that in
Mm-hmm.
combat all the time, you know, because now
Oh,
you
really?
attach it to your belt. So if they take the pistol, you still have that string holding the pistol from you.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's smart. That's
yeah,
smart.
yeah. I mean, Marines do it just in case you go to the bathroom or something and you drop your pistol.
Dude, you gotta cover your bases, right?
Yeah, I had a Marine in Japan that got out of a Humvee and went to make a head call, like we call it, went to into the tree lines, and apparently he dropped his pistol, and then came back later on. We couldn't find his pistol. Anyway, we spent couple of hours looking for this pistol, and we found it, but it was about
Uh,
150 guys looking for this Beretta 92 and or M9. We found it,
it
but
sucks.
let's just say it wasn't pretty. If you're in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
military, you know what happened after that. It wasn't pretty. But anyways,
I'm sure you got
uh,
res like a lot.
yeah. Actually, the first sergeant came out and said if anybody will mess with him, he was gonna personally destroy the person that messed with him because you. I don't know, man. It's something about Marines. You piss them off and they go high into the right and they do stupid things.
That's funny.
But anyways, back into this. It's just crazy, man. We've been having a good time and talking, kind of smiling, but I mean, this is straight up a violation of every American right that live there. Every American person that lives there, they're straight up violating your rights. And
Yeah,
again, I mean, I just don't get how they could do something that is totally against the U.S. Constitution. That's like the thing that blows my mind. Like it's totally
yeah.
against that. You know what I'm saying?
It's completely against the one thing that they took an oath to uphold. You took an oath to uphold the Constitution, which says, "I have a right to keep and bear, not just to keep arms, but to bear arms." You know, and it doesn't say bear arms as long as you haven't committed a felony, or bear arms as long as you pass a safety certificate, bear arms as long as you wait 10 days. It doesn't say anything after bear arms. You know,
Yep.
it stops. There's a period after that.
Hmm.
And anything that goes after that period, and I've been doing that series on reading the Constitution, right?
Right.
If you read in the Constitution, in the articles, it specifically says that the Constitution is the law of the land, and no state in the Union can make a law that exceeds or overruns the Constitution itself. That any law that would run into the Constitution is thereby superseded by the Constitution. So they're breaking the law by enforcing these laws. But we can't do anything about it because if we break the laws, we're going to be in jail.
Hmm.
So it's 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 illegal to make what we're doing illegal.
Yeah.
That's the way that I see it.
Yeah. And the thing about that, man, is that they're taking this position in order to protect, and I said protect the
Yeah.
other people, and it's not working out. They is not protecting anyone. I mean, the
No.
fact is that states that have concealed carry usually have lower crime. So
Yeah.
people, criminals will tell you, and there's a lot of things out there in the internet that criminals statements that they will tell you. If we know he has a gun, we won't mess with him. We're gonna mess with somebody else.
Yeah.
So they're not accomplishing that mission. And again, and I've seen this many times, man. Like, oh, we have to do it for the good of the people. No, you're not gonna put my life and my children and my wife's life at risk because you want to protect others, which
Yeah.
again is not really protecting others. You're not getting that done.
You
So
know, I was actually in a liquor store robbery or involved in a liquor store robbery about 8 years ago, out in the San Fernando Valley, Silmar specifically. Some people, if you're watching this, might know where that is. But I was in Silmar, and I'm standing there, and I just got out of my work truck, right? I got my soda, my bag of chips, and I'm waiting in line. This dude comes walking in with a handgun. He puts it to the head of the guy that's standing right in front of me, and tells the cashier to give him the money, right? Open up the register. The guy's screaming, just bloody murder, screaming crazy. He takes the gun, he points it at me, and says, "You gonna do anything about it?" You know, and then take all the money. It's not my money. I don't give a shit. Like I was trying to make it seem like I was on his side. I'm just here for my chips and soda view. So anyway, the guy's waving his gun around. What choice do I have at that point?
Nothing.
But to just comply with whatever he tells me to do. You know? I mean, that's what they've done. That's what they've done to us. Is the guy that's robbing the liquor store had more right to life than I did.
That's sad, dude.
It's
just sad that,
yeah, it sucks.
It's just sad that you didn't have a choice, you know. And
No,
I mean, living in a free country, you should have a choice. You know what I'm saying? That guy could have killed you right there, and you would have been totally vulnerable to him. Like you had no choice to defend yourself. That's not why people go to combat. That's not why people serve this country. That's not, you know what I'm saying? Like even the military, me being in the military for so long, like people join so all the people have choices. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Your choices don't have to be my choices. You know, like there's so many things that I don't agree with, but those are your choices. I don't hate you. You know, like gay people. I don't hate you because you're gay. You know, I'm a Christian boy, so I don't hate you for that. And I know this is like freaking controversial topic, and I don't hate you for that. You don't hate the person. You don't like the sin, but again, you have choices. That is your choice. You know what I'm saying, brother? That's your choice. If you want to be gay, be gay. That's your choice. I don't care.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you die, if you believe in God, you're gonna talk to God about that. If you don't believe in God, you're probably gonna still talk to God about that. But that's your choice. That's not mine. But you know, my point is like this is a country where you have choices. If you want to be gay, be gay. Now, if you want to buy 6 guns, buy 6 guns. That is your choice. That's why people serve. So you go have choices. You know what I'm saying? All the countries you cannot have choices. All the countries that will kill you just for speaking. You know what I'm saying?
Think about, like I try and tell people all the time, because I get in arguments with anti-gun people out in California, right? And they typically say, okay, for instance, like I say, I'll tell them, you know, if a good guy with a gun was there, it could have stopped that murder. It could have stopped that killing. And a lot of times you'll hear somebody in California say, well, the guy who killed all those people was a good guy when he bought the gun. He didn't become a bad guy till later, you know? And I'll tell them, okay, well, what about this? Did you know that it's illegal for Mexicans to own guns in Mexico? Guns are outlawed in Mexico. I mean, for the most part, that stopped the drug cartels? Does it stop the drug runners and the mass killings, the beheadings, the heads on the posts? I mean, you know, you look at major gun control, Mexico is major gun control, and yet there's weapons over there everywhere.
Yep. And it's kind of crazy because this country does that all the time. Like, you know, we know that we have an issue on the borders, and illegal people are jumping into this country that have criminals and kill people, possibly terrorists coming through the borders, and we don't do anything about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We just don't do anything about it. Like we always react. We never do something before. We wait until an incident happen to react to that. So that's what this country does. And plus, you know, last time I checked, you're not guilty into proving innocent. Is the other way around. And if we're gonna play people, what if this all the time, and what if this, what if that, what if this? Well, you know, we could what if something to that if you want to, but you know, bad people are bad people. If he can buy a gun, he will use a rock. If not, he's gonna use a car. If not, he's gonna use a knife. But he's gonna do something because he's a bad person.
Yeah, so, I'm pretty sure Timothy McVeigh didn't use a gun. He took down an entire building. You know, he took down a federal building with a truck and some fertilizer. Yeah. You know, I mean, if somebody wants to kill somebody, they're gonna find a way. You know, if I'm hell bent on killing somebody, I can walk in with a big rock in my hand and just start pummeling people in the head. You know, but they're gonna be the victims unless they can fight against me. You know, and I'm already one up because I have a weapon.
Yeah. At that point, what are you gonna do? You gonna
California,
ban everything? You're gonna ban
yeah,
cars? You gonna ban
California.
knife? Go ahead.
The thing is, dude, it's a beautiful state. You know, it's I don't know if do you watch Kyle the Gun Nut?
Yeah,
He's got a
yeah, yeah, I
channel here
do.
on YouTube.
Yep.
He went down to San Diego, and in one of his videos, he likes to do those Walmart walks where he walks into the
Hmm.
WalMarts. And he's from Utah, and he was out here, and as he was walking into Walmart, he's like, "Man, it's so beautiful out here." He's like, "I can almost see why people don't leave," you know? He's
Hmm.
like, "I can almost see why people put up with the gun stuff." And it's like, we have the beaches, we have the snow, we have the desert, we have the mountains, we have all this beautiful stuff here. If it wasn't for the political climate, I would love to live here.
Yeah.
You know, it's the only reason why I want to leave is the political climate. It ruined the state. It ruined the state.
Yeah. And it's just and I go back to, just talking about it, is that they laws don't even make sense. Like it's way out there, like 10 days. That's just, and again, I'm not supporting waiting time. I'm just saying you should be able to go to a store if you have your background, all that stuff, show your permit, say I want that one and buy it. Got it. But even down when my little brother's from, it's 3 days. Again, I'm not supporting the 3 days, but and now that you said 10 days, the 3 days sounds way better than 10 days. You know what I'm saying?
And it's really 11 days. It's really 11 days because you can't go back on the 10th day until after. So they put it down to the minute. If you bought your firearm and they stamp it at 4:50 in the afternoon,
Mm-hmm.
you cannot come until 4:51. And if the store closes at 5 o'clock, you have to wait till the next day. You have to wait till the exact minute. They won't hand it over. So it's just I can go with the laws here forever, forever. I mean, did you see my transporting guns in California video that I did?
I don't remember, dude, but I'm sure I did because I
Dude,
watched all your videos. Oh yeah, I did. I
I
did. You
did.
were talking about different ammo, and I was telling my wife about it. Now I remember.
Yeah, yeah. I carry my gun in a case with the magazine out, extra ammo, things like that in the case. And I was telling people about it, and I've never seen so much confusion from Californians. People that are leaving comments, PMing me, saying, "Oh, you're wrong. You can't do that. Having a loaded mag, even not in the gun, is illegal. It's illegal to have ammo." Everybody had their own idea of what was legal because nobody knows. That's how they've managed to confuse us here. Is nobody knows the actual thing. I mean, I had to talk to somebody at the California Department of Justice. I called the Department of Justice. I talked to the CHP. I talked to the sheriffs. I talked to the LAPD. I have penal codes that cover it. It's completely legal to do what I was talking about, but nobody knows it because
Hmm.
they've kept it so under wraps here.
Yeah.
You
How can
know?
how can people think it's not legal? Like, why would I want to carry a gun and not carry the ammo? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, the general thought is people think you have to keep your pistol in a locked case and the ammo separate, right? So that if the cop pulls you over, it's not basically. Okay, so this is considered unloaded, okay? This is considered unloaded, still considered unloaded. If you do this, it's now considered loaded, even if there's not one in the chamber.
Right.
But this is still considered an unloaded gun, and the law states that if I have an unloaded gun in a locked container, even if the ammo is in there, uh, it's still legal. So they're just considering this an inanimate object until it's inserted into the gun, basically.
Yeah.
So this could be a plastic kick here. Once it's put into the gun, now it's an actual loaded gun, and that's what they care about.
It's kind of crazy because you're talking about treating you like a criminal, and we go back to like if a police stop me, and I've been pulled over. I've been pulled over with two guns, with a Glock 23 and a Glock 17 in my possession,
Uh-huh.
and again I go back to, um, if the police stop me, so what? The police stop me. I'm not gonna shoot a police officer over a traffic citation over anything. I'm not planning. Like, why would a police officer, think of me like that? And I get it. Being a cop, you got to treat everybody that way. But why would I have my gun offloaded in case a police officer stop me, they should think about it. They should think about it in the other way. And you should have your gun loaded in case you face a criminal. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like they're not thinking about that. They're thinking about the safety of the police officer, but they're not thinking about your safety. You have more chances of getting jacked by a criminal that getting pulled over by a police officer. And if a guy's gonna shoot a cop, he's probably not gonna wait 10 days to get a gun to shoot a cop. He has different way. We go back to common sense, man. Where's this people's common sense, dude?
Hey, so I have a question then about North Carolina, because I always love hearing about these other states that don't have the same laws that we do.
Yeah.
Can you actually carry a truck gun, like in a gun rack?
I seen guys doing that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly. I don't want to say yes or no, but I seen people doing it, so I would assume yes. I know you could carry a gun in your car. So, but you talking specifically as a display?
Yeah, like if you had a gun rack in the back and you put your shotgun in there because you're going hunting or something, you know?
I seen that. I seen that many times. So I would say yes. I don't do it. I mean, again, I'm not completely positive. I know you could carry a gun in your car like it's cool, but on display on the back, like you're driving and you see guys with shotguns in the back. I seen that.
Oh yeah.
I actually seen AR-15s hanging. So I would assume that either those guys were committing a crime or yes, one of the two.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know exactly because I don't do it, but I carry guns in the car all the time. So
I love hearing that stuff, dude. I love hearing it. I envy you guys. I envy these other states that are more free, and I never ever hold it against somebody who tells me, hey dude, move out of that commie state, why do you live in California, why do you this, and people tend to like put things on me sometimes, but I never hold it against somebody because they look at the state in general, they look at California and Californians, which obviously I'm one of them,
right,
and they tend to view everybody here, but the problem is people here, they just don't speak out enough. They don't rally enough. Like you hear about the rallies that happened in Washington over I-594,
right?
And the rallies that happen all around the country. I mean, they just don't barely even exist out here. And people need to come out of the shadows. If the millions of gun owners in California would just come out of the shadows, it would be a huge voice for sense to me, but they freedom. But people are just that's too afraid. That's how it is. People are too afraid to speak up.
I think it makes sense, man, because I know me and you have talked about this in the past, and you always say, well, somebody got to be here to kind of fight the fight. And we definitely appreciate your videos and things like that, because people got to be informed, man. People got to know. And like I think it was a couple of days ago, I was telling my wife the whole, bullet button kind of thing, and you had to stick the little thing. And my wife was just amazed, man. My wife is like, what? Like, I actually had to, like, say, like, no, listen, this is what they do. And like, she couldn't even get it, But, again, informing people out there so they know, and you know what I'm saying, they can make educated decisions. So, like your videos out there, man, people got to know. People got to know that it's not cool for them to do that. And I don't know what we could do from all the states. I don't know what we could do from here, but
Nothing.
If we something, you know what I'm saying? But at least we know, at least we inform, at least we could support in some kind of way, and I definitely some people got to step up, man, like rallies and things like that. Call your governor, I don't know, call somebody and tell them that it's not cool that you violate my rights. It's just not cool, man.
Well, and another guy, a subscriber here from YouTube. We've been kind of talking on personal email. I think him and I are going to get together and try and put something together for maybe like a local rally or a small rally, just to kind of start feeling out what people think about it, and just maybe see if we can get just some people together on a corner for now and hold up some Second Amendment signs and see what type of reaction we get, So I'm talking to him about it a little bit and see if we can work something out, just start something,
Yeah, and definitely post it, man, because, you could get 200 views or you could get 100,000 views. You never know, man. People will support, in some kind of way. people, it could be liking and share the video, but people will support, and because that's just straight up BS, man. That's not cool, man. You know, I
Oh, hey,
hate.
hey, how all these subscribers have started showing up lately
Right,
on my channel.
right.
The Polymer 80 video that I did, remember the review that I did for them?
Yep.
That landed on, so Polymer 80, Lauren from Polymer 80 put that on his website.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Aries Armor down in San Diego put it on their website as well. So I've got two pretty major websites running the video right now, and I think a lot of people are coming over from that, you know? A lot of Californians and stuff too, which is really cool. I like to hear from the Californians, you know?
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. Well, hopefully the channel keeps getting bigger, and hopefully we keep spreading the word, man. Because I tell people all the time that, you know, these videos may look stupid to some people, but some other people are watching the videos and passing the same. So
Yeah.
you there,
Yeah,
bro? I
one
think
day
I'm
I'll
breaking
start
up a
making
little
good
bit.
videos too. I still feel like my videos suck. Every
My
time I watch my
videos.
videos back, I'm like, man, how is it possible anybody actually watched this crap, you know? People from California are going to move so they don't have to watch my videos.
Yeah. All right, man. I think we're coming up to like almost an hour. You got anything else that you think it kind of like out there that we should know?
No. No. It's
I
all
think
too far out there, dude. I don't want to make your heads explode if I tell you. If we start getting into stuff like micro-stamping, if we get into micro-stamping and maybe, oh man, there's actually quite a few things. Multiple serialized numbers on parts, like the bolts and the bolt carriers, and on stamped uppers. We'll be here all night, dude.
Oh,
So I
wow.
think I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. I think we're gonna call this part one. We may do a part two in the future. Um,
We'll see.
all right, man.
We'll see.
You want to give a shout out? You want to give a shout out to your channel, your second channel, all that stuff? Anything you got coming up?
You know what? I have nothing coming up, dude. I just kind of thinking on the fly right now. You know, I got a couple reviews. You know, I got a new knife that I'm gonna start carrying.
Yeah.
That's about it, dude. Just a couple reviews and whatever pops into my head. Hanging out at the
That's
gun
what I
shop.
do. Yeah, I had to put you in the spot, man. I get asked that question. Anything going on? And I'm like, I don't know. Whatever comes to my mind,
Like I
I
have,
just make a video on it.
and I like to watch the news, and then sometimes I make videos.
Yeah. All right. So we appreciate you coming. We appreciate anybody that is watching. If you stuck around to this time and you're still watching, we definitely appreciate you. As always, if you got any comments, anything, put it down in the comments. I'm gonna put the Daily Shooter channel so you can go on and subscribe and check out his channel. Definitely appreciate you guys watching. If you like this type of videos, click like, subscribe to this channel, share the videos, and as always, God is in control.